Hi everybody, it's 2025. We made it. I don't know if that's cause for celebration or what, but we're here and we're still alive, right? So what else are you gonna do? I know I look terrible. My hair's falling out. It's awful. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Because it's just one more thing on the pile of absolute garbage that my life has been for the last 9 months, right? So anyway, I won't complain too much anymore. I hope you had a very happy holiday, and I hope that things are relatively safe. I'm sitting in my car. My car is running because I'm afraid to turn it off because when I was in the hospital back in June, the car wasn't getting started every day, so the battery got really drained and wonky, so sometimes it starts, sometimes it doesn't. So, and I also find that if I'm out doing things, if I don't just let it run, it doesn't charge up, so it drains the battery, right? So when I'm away from where I'm staying, I have to basically keep it running because I don't want to risk it not starting again, right? Anyway, blah blah blah. You don't need to know that. So December was as difficult to concentrate as it's been all along. The one thing I did manage to do was listen to the audiobook of The Road, which I've been meaning to do for some time. Now, I had purchased the audiobook over on Chirp, which is my favorite audiobook site. Again, I'm not affiliated with them anyway. I'm just a big fan, and I think I got it for like $4 or $5, something like that. It's they have really good deals every day. So if you're a fan of the audiobooks, Chirp. And actually, I did get an email from them that if you're a first-time Chirp user, you can get the audiobook that I listen to for $2. So I will try to remember to put that link in the doobly-doo for you, so you can go check out Chirp. And there's no membership fees anytime. It's a really great service. Anyway, so The Road. Wow. Okay. Somebody in the world, maybe there's a small comfort, but somebody's having a worse life than I have. If you're not familiar with the story, it's the Pulitzer Prize winning novel by Cormac McCarthy. It's about a man and his son. They're never given names. They're only ever referred to as the man and the boy. They're living in a world that is an absolute catastrophic extinction event. Nothing is left alive except a few straggling humans who have turned to eating each other because there's just nothing else to eat. Plants are gone. There's some trees. They seem to be second growth, which is usually something like 7 years after whatever event. And there's no plants, there's no animals. Everything that they come across is dead. It's just a horrible world that they're living in. And so they think, excuse me, the man thinks that if they can get to the south and to the coast, it'll be warmer and maybe something will be different. So that's really where they are. They're on the road, they're traveling, and they have to hide from the bad guys. And we get occasional flashbacks to, what happened to the boy's mother. And yeah, it's a really bleak, really depressing story. They made a movie, Viggo Mortensen as the guy. The movie is arranged differently. I haven't finished watching it, but the events of the story are pretty different. But I think it's kind of... And I don't like the voiceover. It has a voiceover for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. That sort of takes away from the bleakness of what's going on. But I guess it would be kind of boring to watch if there wasn't something, right? Anyway, that's about all I managed to get through for December. I'm still kind of slowly getting through Watership Down. I read some of the stories in Never Whistle at Night, which I did mention. And I also have started reading an anthology called the Cost of Living Anthology. I believe the official release date is in the spring, but don't quote me on that. That one will get its own review because I got it as an advance in exchange for a review. And I'm going to be doing some interview questions. Oh, and I've also been slowly working on reading a couple more books, but nothing where I've made enough progress to really report back. So, 2024 year in review. I got these stickers from Temu, so everything has stickers all over it. So, you know, if I die and they find my journals and things, everything's going to be covered in stickers. I feel like I'm 7 again. It's awesome. So the 2024 year in review, it wasn't a great year, but it wasn't the worst year in the world. I did manage to read a few things. January, I read The Color Purple by Alice Walker, Rabbit Hunt by Rath James White, and a reread of Execution Poems by George Eliot Clark. February was Garbagis 2.5, and I read Lady Boss by Jackie Collins, which is the third in the San Angelo saga. Which, by the way, if anybody from a streaming platform is listening, please make it a series. It would be so awesome. Through March and April, everything was an upheaval, but I did get through the audiobook of The Devil in Silver. May was Mayhem, which is dedicated to horror. So I read Darkness Here But Something More, Crimson, and Skinflick, which I reported on for those. Through June and July, that was kind of I was in the hospital and not feeling very well. But I read The Third Son, I Am Legend, and Tear. And Garbagist, of course, Michael by Frederick, what's his name? Frederick Goebbels? Joseph Goebbels. Yeah, the propaganda guy for the Nazis wrote a novel in his youth, and it's terrible. Devil's a D-Day, which I did review of. Sweet Valley High, Kidnapped, Talon of God, and Everlasting Knob Slobber were what took us through Garbagist. And then in September, I read In Dog We Trust, which I didn't review, but it was kind of cute. Which it is the first of a series, so there's more of them. October was Dracula, Our Town, and Carmilla. November, I read Naked Heat and some of Never Whistle at Night. And then The Road in December. And I'm still working on the Cost of Living anthology. I've also got Deceptive Calm and Dark Matter. Those will have their own reviews later. Now, 2025, I'd like to do a little bit more reading on just a little bit more of the read what you own. I've made up the final list I'm going to try to get through, so we'll see. I'll report back on that. I want to finish those couple of books that I've been working on, reading over the next few weeks. Now, if we're going to do a halfway through Garbagist in February, I wouldn't mind trying to finish Thornbirds. And February is also Black History Month, so I'll probably be reading a book by an African-American writer, and I do have a book that's set in the Harlem Renaissance. It's like a murder mystery, so I'll probably end up reading that one. But nothing's really certain there yet. March is Women in Horror. I've got a couple of books that I'd like to continue, finish up. Books that I sort of start and then go back to. I started A Rather Haunted Life, the Shirley Jackson biography. I'd like to try and get that one finished by the end of March. So fingers crossed I can do it. I mean, I can do it. It's really, really hard to concentrate on anything the way I've been living. And then all the usual things throughout the rest of the year. The other things that are on my list of Read What You Own, I would like to read Crime and Punishment this year. I've been trying to read it on and off for, since I was in school, and I just never finish it, never get farther than a chapter or two. And I would also like to read David Copperfield and Barbara Kingsolver's, I guess it's some kind of reimagining. It's called Demon Copperhead. And I have both books, so I'd like to get those read this year. So those are my goals for 2025. Pretty simple. I want to keep everything as stripped down as possible. I am still up in the air as far as my life. I'm still unemployed. I'm still homeless. I'm okay at the moment, but everything's pretty bad. And I'm still looking for a job. Hopefully. See, weirdly enough, I am okay with staying on EI throughout the winter so that I don't have to get up and go to work every day in the awful weather. But by the same token, I do still want to work or try to get some kind of income happening. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Yep, everything's on hold. 2025 the outlook isn't that great for me, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll win a lottery. Maybe my life will turn around. Hope is, after all, a sewer rat. So on that, again, have a happy new year. I hope you're having a wonderful life, a wonderful time. Just because I'm not feeling that happy right now doesn't mean that other people can't be happy and that it's not going to get better. So I hope you're reading lots of horror. Have a great day.